Oh, where did it go? What's up? What's up? I am on here just a tad bit early because I am making sure that I am all hooked up to all of the outlets. Happy Tuesday. It is Tough Love Tuesday. Has it been a tough day? I don't mean like Tough Love Tuesday is supposed to be a tough day. I just mean that it's Tough Love Tuesday. Tough Love Tuesday is the day where you look inside yourself and you have to determine where do you need to be a little bit more tough, a little bit more honest, a little bit more authentic. So I think I'm on Instagram. I hope I'm on Instagram. If you are on Instagram, could you let me know? Because like I said yesterday, I am learning how to use all of this right now. So anyhow, welcome to the Daily Fight. It is 12:45 Eastern Time, Florida. We finally have a sunny day with no rain, I think, for one day today. My name is Robin Tanner. I'm the author of The Machete Mentality. It is how to fight for your future self. And today, the topic in our unabashed challenge, which, if you're just joining, this month is basically challenging you to show up without apologizing, without justifying, without explaining. And today I want to talk about why it's important to have an unapologetic mindset. Now, this has nothing to do, okay? So let's just go ahead and set aside um apologizing because you were, a jerk, all right? So this is not what we're talking about. We're not apologizing for bumping into somebody in the store, which by the way, you totally shouldn't do. You should just say, "Excuse me, stop apologizing." An unapologetic mindset is owning your dreams and your desires and your needs and your wishes. It goes beyond the easiest one, right? Where would you like to go to dinner? When somebody asks you, where would you like to go to dinner? You're like, I don't care, wherever. And then you say no to absolutely everything that they are suggesting. So, unapologetic mindset is you really learning from within what it is that you need, what your desires, what your needs, what your wants, what your goals, all of the things. And I am really speaking to the person today, specifically to women, because that's who I coach. But if you're a dude and this is helping you, hell yeah. Um, what is it that you really want? What is the thing that is worth fighting for you? Because it's going to come at a cost. And today, and it's going to come at a compromise, and it's going to come at a sacrifice. And it's also one of those costs is being misunderstood, it's being judged. But I want to get you to think that really the only person that matters is how you're seeing yourself, how you're judging yourself, how you have respect or integrity, or you don't have those things with yourself when you start apologizing, shrinking, or watering down your dreams and your desires. So I want to lay this out for you today so that it can hopefully help you develop an unapologetic mindset. Um, in my four-part RTX method, which is a relentless transformation method. And this was something that I developed over the years, over the past 9 years, and probably more so over the past 26 years, coaching people through the health and fitness industry. That it is, we cannot compartmentalize it. Oftentimes we want to fix one area of our life and then something else falls wayside, or we're doing really well over here, but this area is lacking or sucking, right? And it could be personally, professionally, or physically. But how we're going to stop boxing everything in is spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. And this is like from a fitness standpoint, I want you to think of these areas of your life as muscles, things that you're going to have to practice, things you're going to have to condition, things that you're going to have to skill up. So, to develop your unapologetic mindset, all right, and we've only got a few minutes on the daily fight, and I'm going to keep my time today. And yeah, I have notes. I'm not going to apologize for that. But I really want to speak from my heart on this one. Is the first one is really owning that desire that you have, that dream that you have, And that will develop your vision and your faith, and ultimately for you to take it from a vision board, right? And just from a post-it note and an affirmation and a wish in your heart to actually living and experiencing it and doing it, which for me is ultimately the end result, which is the physical fitness part. That's the having and the becoming and the doing and the being and all of it, that you actually get it. Remember yesterday and in a previous podcast I talked about, I wish that you could just walk into my store and we exchange money, and you tell me, hey, I need some courage and I need some faith and I need my dream, and could you wrap it up in a pretty box in a bow or a really nice gold bag and deliver it to me just like that. And I wish it were that simple. But I can tell you this, that when we piece it together spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically, and when you stop apologizing, you start owning who you are and what it is that you want, and that you're willing to be judged and misunderstood, and so that you can have that integrity with yourself, it really does become that simple. We overcomplicate things, and then we end up being overwhelmed, and then we shut down, and then we shrink, and then we water down what it is that we actually want. So the first one is that spiritual fitness piece, which is your faith muscle, right? That is the muscle where you're going to develop your belief in yourself and your trust in yourself, that you actually can have the thing that's on your vision board, that you can have the post-it note thing, that you can have those affirmations, everything that you're writing in your journal, or everything that you're just waking up wishing. Some of us are just wishing away our lives. We're waiting for the weekend, we're waiting for the summer, we're waiting for the kids to go back to school. And instead of actually taking control of that and taking charge of our life, which comes from within. And it's hard, it's a struggle, which is why I call this the daily fight. I'm a big believer in just honoring and embracing that. I had a 15-minute pity party yesterday. I I mean, I'm human, like, I'm a person, I'm a woman, there's a little girl inside, there's a warrior inside, there's a badass inside. There's a person inside of me that is not yet. And that's what I want for you, is for you to work on not apologizing, justifying, or explaining that you want what you want. So, and I can sit here and tell you all the how of it, but I'm not going to give away all my stuff for free. Been there, done there, got that t-shirt one. So go check out my new program. It's totally new. It's not a course. It's not some online digital program. This is live coaching with me every single week, where you have access to office hours. We're building a badass community of women who are ready to fight for yourself, who have a problem or a pain that they want to come over. And one of them is apologizing, shrinking, silencing yourself. I want to help you build up that faith muscle. So go check out, I think the banner is going across the bottom right now. The next one, and if you don't, you're going to be stripped of your dignity. And I'll wrap it up at the end with it, but you want to have that integrity with yourself. You want to have some dignity with yourself. So the easiest way, I'll give you this one. The next time somebody asks where you want to go to dinner, tell them. Actually, when you like, it's really starting with something that simple will build it up for you. Now, this piece, moving on, is the emotional fitness piece. Now, for me, the emotional fitness is your courage muscle and your confidence muscle. And without going too deep in it, how we're going to roll this in with your unapologetic mindset, right? With this new mentality that you have, that is not abrasive, that is not obnoxious, that is not annoying or overbearing or makes you look like some bee, but is where you actually build up your courage with yourself by owning up to all the lies and all the excuses and all the places in your life where you are shrinking yourself, where you're staying a wallflower. And I'm obviously speaking to the person who has a dream, who has a desire to do something else, who wants to quit settling, who wants to quit a job, who wants to walk away from a relationship. Yes, you're allowed to do those things. You don't have to stay because you've spent so much money or so much time. And we call those like sunk costs. And it can show up in your energy, how much energy you're losing because you're holding on to something that is no longer something that you want or to align yourself with anymore. And that's why we have to revisit our goals and our dreams and our desires. I've got about 4 or 5 different vision boards that have become battle boards, and that have also become like places of where these things have been transferred because I've achieved them. They've actually happened. But the only way to do that is to be honest with all of the wars that you've got going on inside of yourself and to be unapologetic with yourself. You really have to own what is it that you really want. You may want several different things. I want to be a teacher and a coach in this classroom of badass women. I want to help you rise up. I want to help you overcome whatever the pain or the problem or the pattern is. I want to help you actually conquer it and do the damn dream. And I want to help you become future you, all of those things. But I also want to be a best-selling author. I also want to be a keynote and a motivational speaker. I also want to be a multimillionaire, right? I also want Jennifer Aniston's body. One of those things is not happening. Can you guess which one? I also want to have an animal sanctuary. I also want to live on the beach and in Montana. How I'm going to figure all of that out, I'm not quite so sure, but I'm willing to own it unapologetically without, right? Without explaining myself away or watering it down. And I'm okay with being judged by my family, with people that clients, with people that were friends, and maybe they no longer are. Those are some of the sacrifices that you make along the way when you're starting to own up, right? And face your giants so that you can look in the mirror every single day and be good with you. And I believe if you're good with you, you're good with God, right? Then you can be good. You can't be wrong with anybody else. You cannot let other people down as long as you're not letting yourself down. I'm going to say it one more time. As long as you're not letting yourself down, you can't let others down. Those are their expectations, their wants for you, their shoulds, their desires for you, or what they think that you should be doing. That is not your life. Your life is not in their hands. It is in yours. And that's where you want to start building up emotionally that muscle, that you're honest with yourself about those desires and those dreams and those boundaries. And this is something that I'm going to help you go through in my new group coaching program, The Rise. So go check it out. It's the banner's going across robintanner.com/, the Rise waitlist. The next piece of it is the mental piece. And this I think is probably one of the biggest ones where a lot of us uh, kind of fall wayside. You actually have to do it. You actually have to sit here and show up. And so one of the reasons why I did this was because I wasn't opening the doors to my store. I was just sitting on all of these ideas, all of this stuff that I need to teach, that I need to get out and into the world and into somebody else's hands, because somebody else's greatness relies upon me showing up in my greatness. Somebody is waiting for you to step up and do something. Somebody else needs you, needs what you have. And it doesn't have to be something grand like a book or speaking or business or anything like that. It could be something very, very simple. But you've got to show up. You got to sit your butt in the chair and do the work. And that's how you get the integrity and the respect. And a lot of us just show up. I used to say this at the gym all the time: walking through the doors is ground zero, right? Like, then you actually have to work. You got to dig deep, and then you got to work harder than you ever thought. Yesterday, I had a deadline. It was a hard deadline, and I wasn't going to meet it. And I was just like, it's just not going to happen because something else was taking precedence, and there was another fire, and there was another thing that had to get done too. And I have a partner, I have a speaking partner who pushed, and I'm a pusher, but she pushed back. And this was the first time in a long time that I had somebody in my corner fighting for me. And that's what I give so much out into the world, into my clients and into my group coaching programs, into what I'm trying to do, is that I will push and help and fight for you and challenge you and call you out and call you up. But you've got to have that badass backup. And I had that yesterday in her. So I thank you. And she knows who she is. That she got on the phone and she pushed me through so that I got it done and I met the deadline. And then I went back to the other things. And so that is your integrity, and that builds you up the low self-esteem that you have. And you have the low self-esteem, even though you don't think you have the low self-esteem, or you don't want to admit you have the low self-esteem, because you're apologizing for wanting what you want. And you're shying away from it. And you're trying to explain yourself to people who don't get it and don't understand you. You got to be okay with being misunderstood. You got to be okay with being judged, but don't be okay with judging yourself. And you won't judge yourself if you quit apologizing and watering down what it is that you want. and the parameters around that, and often organizing and implementing and executing and following through on that is where we fall short. And that's your integrity muscle. And that's the mental fitness. And that goes beyond grit and beyond perseverance and beyond endurance. It's actually getting that rhythm that you can keep pace with. You can keep pace with, not somebody else. It doesn't mean that you're not going to learn. And that's one of the cool things about my new program, The Rise, is that it's not a blueprint. It's not cookie cutter. It's not do this and poof, everybody gets the same thing. It doesn't work that way. We all have different lifestyles. We all have different values and belief systems. And we all are going through different things in different phases at different times. There's no cookie cutter solution. And you've got to own who you are unapologetically, who you're. I'm a very vibrant, loud, energetic. Some people might think I'm frantic. Some people might think like I'm too angry or whatever, but I'm not. This is who I am, and I'm not going to apologize for it. When I get on stage, I want to be the person. When I get on my podcast, I want to be the person. When I'm writing in my words, I want to be the person that wakes people up, that gets you thinking, that challenges you, that hits you with some gut punch questions, which, by the way, one of them for today is, where are you falling short? Where are you apologizing in your life? What are you getting away with? What are you shrinking and watering down so much so that you're losing respect with yourself, that the person in the mirror you don't make eye contact with, you're not even looking in the mirror, you're avoiding the mirrors. You're the person in the back taking the photographs, and you're hiding behind everybody else, or you're just not showing up at all and you're isolating and you're avoiding, because you're apologizing for what it is that you really want. And in order for you to have the physical fitness piece, which is the last piece, and I will wrap it up for you for the day, is that the living and the doing and the having and the being and the becoming of your future self, to get to step into that and to experience that, you got to have the other pieces. And we tend to compartmentalize. We, like I said in the beginning, we tend to, like, fix the career. And as soon as we get the career fixed, then we'll work on the body. And as soon as we get the body fixed, then we'll work on the relationship, right? Like, I'll get skinny before I get a man. Like, it doesn't fucking work that way, or I'll, as soon as I do this, then I'll go apply for another job, or I'll go put in for the raise, or I'll go walk into my boss's office and then I'll quit, or I'll figure out the side hustle and then I'll walk away from, the job that I've been in, whatever it might be. It doesn't work that way. I wish they did, but it doesn't. If it did, that everybody would have the life that they wanted right now all the time. And we wouldn't need to stretch and develop our character. We wouldn't have to endure or persevere through hard times and dry seasons. So you have to be able to have the faith, work the faith muscle. So unapologetically, what is it that you really want? Write it down today. Write it down right now and own it. And if you're watching this back later, think about it. Go review your vision board. What is up there that is no longer true? Tear it down and throw it away. It's okay to change your dreams. It's okay to change your desires. Where do you find yourself constantly explaining yourself? My husband calls them, I don't need an essay explanation. Like, he doesn't, you know, you don't need essay explain. You don't have to explain yourself to anybody. And as soon as you can get, now that doesn't mean that, like, you don't get support, and that's a whole nother podcast. And it doesn't mean that you don't get support. It doesn't mean that you don't compromise. It doesn't mean that you don't sacrifice. And it certainly doesn't mean that you're not going to have to put protection and armor up so that you can have and live the life and have those things that you want. And especially in the beginning, it's awkward. And that is why you need a coach, and you need a program with levels and phases that walk you through this. So please go check it out. At least go check it out and let me know, like, hey, this makes sense, or hey, I have questions on this, and let me know so that I can make it better if it's for the person that is ready to fight, that is ready to be unapologetic for the thing. A lot of people come to me because they want to quit. They want to quit settling. They want to quit suffering. They want to quit second guessing. They want to quit survival mode. A lot of us don't even know that we're in this. We're accepting average. We don't even know it. But here's the thing. When you deny yourself your truth, when you apologize for the thing that you want, for the life that you want, for the lifestyle that you want, for the trips that you want, and beyond material things, I'm not even talking about material things, but just owning what you really want and releasing, right, that warrior inside of you, and waking it up so that you're living life on your terms, and not in shouldville, not in guilt, not in fear, not in judgment, not in obligation. That That is when you get freedom. That is when the weight comes off, right? That is when you don't have to follow some crazy fad diet or go get a bunch of injections. That is when you don't have to, and I get it, I'm probably going to get hell for that one. I'm not I'm not even the least bit worried about it. That's when you don't have to keep showing up at a job or a relationship that you have outgrown, that doesn't serve you anymore, that doesn't give you purpose or helps you feel useful and purposeful or doesn't excite you. If you don't feel like you belong anywhere, you've outgrown it. This gives you the energy, the oomph, right? That fortitude to forge forward, even into the unknown, without faith, without without, did I just say without faith? I may have just, that's totally not what I meant. Without the certainty in faith. So think about those things today as you lay them out spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically, to have an unapologetic mindset so that you have integrity with yourself, respect with yourself, trust with yourself, faith with yourself, because it's possible. It's possible for you to have freedom from the things that you keep finding yourself in a pattern. It's possible for you to win the wars that you have going on inside. I've won a lot of them. Eating disorders, pain, chronic pain, illnesses, infections, multiple surgeries, death of loved one, divorce, heartache after heartache after heartache, seeking out, secret sins and things that I've been freed from, not just by the hand of God, but also because I had to show up and do the action work, the inner work, that deep work, going to the counseling, going to the therapy, doing the journaling, reading the books, teaching it to others, helping others through it. And I could list a laundry list of a bunch of other things. But you fall into these cycles most often because we are not really owning, and we're apologizing for the things that we want, and we're shrinking them, or we're acting like we don't really want them because it's not that bad, or I'll never do that, or it'll take too long, or blah 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 blah, and all the excuses. I want to put an end to that, and I want to help as many people as I can do that. And it's a daily fight. But when you have the right method and you have the right transformation processes and the right frameworks in place, and you stop compartmentalizing everything into a bunch of different puzzles, and you bring them all together as one unit, the fight is worth fighting for. The fight fires you up. The fight gives you something every day to look forward to get excited for, even on the days where nothing's going right. The fight is worth it, but you got to make sure you're fighting the right fights. And often when we're apologizing and we have a mindset that shrinks us and keeps us watered down and against the wall and sitting on the sidelines and on the bench and watching life pass us by and everybody else gets to do it, you're fighting the wrong fight. You're fighting to stay put. You're fighting to stay just as you are. You don't get rewarded until you step into battle. As soon as you step into battle, that's when you get to build and become your future self. So I hope this helps somebody today fire you up. Don't apologize. Not don't go out there. I didn't tell everybody go out there and be a jerk today. I want you to be less of a jerk to yourself by continuing to stand up for yourself. Say your desire on your heart. And if it's something as simple as where you want to go for dinner tonight, start there. It sounds silly, but it will give you the confidence to continue to keep doing it. And don't forget my favorite one, Noah doesn't need backup dancers. All right? But be willing today to wake your warrior, to own who you are, to be misjudged, to be misunderstood. It's okay. As long as you're right with you and you're good with God, you're good. You're gold. My name is Robin Tanner. Please follow, like this, share this. I hoped it helped you. You can comment, you can DM me, and please go check out. And it's actually me. It's not a robot. It's not anybody else. I like to talk to my people. I'm very hands-on and very transparent and very real with you guys. I'm walking this walk with you. I am in the forge with you. I am on the rise with you. That is the only way I know how to do things. We show up ugly together. And I thank you for being here. So let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything I can help you with. And please go check out The Rise. If you're ready to take bold action, if you are ready to invest in yourself, go check out robintanner.com/The Rise waitlist. Just go check it out. And I hope to see you on the inside. Peace out. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, 12:45.